Are you thinking about moving to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho? Here's 5 things you should know before you make that decision. Hi everyone, I'm Dale Frazell. Welcome to my channel, Dale Frazell, New Construction Realtor. I specialize in new construction. However, today I'm not going to be talking about new construction. I'm going to be talking about things you should know about Coeur d'Alene. Okay, before I jump into those 5 things, I just got to let you know my background in Coeur d'Alene. I've lived here now for the last 12 years. Prior to that, I was in Boise for 25 years. That's where I did all my home building. Now, I can give you firsthand experience what it's like to move here and what it's like to live here. Number 1, natural beauty. Coeur d'Alene itself is just surrounded by nature. You have the Coeur d'Alene Lake, you have the mountains, you have rivers, you have additional lakes. It is really spectacular, the natural beauty that's all around Coeur d'Alene. Number 2, small town atmosphere. Now, Coeur d'Alene does have just under 60,000 people. Downtown Coeur d'Alene is quaint, and yes, tourist-oriented, but residents share all the same benefits. We have the renowned Coeur d'Alene Resort, which attracts thousands of visitors, but also provides financial means to keep downtown and the surrounding areas pristine and up to date. McEwen Park is a large draw, and right next to the park is Tub Hill, which extends into Coeur d'Alene Lake and is especially known for its walking trails. Gorgeous views and some good exercise are a big draw here. But what it does have, which I think is a really neat thing, it has those big box stores. Your Home Depot, your Lowe's, your Walmart, your Albertsons, your Safeway. It has those larger big box stores, but you don't have the masses of that population going to those stores. So typically you take 95. 95 is a corridor that goes from, it goes beyond Coeur d'Alene south, but just going from Coeur d'Alene, you can go all the way up to Canada on 95, but just staying here in Coeur d'Alene, it's just outside of downtown, because I always use downtown Coeur d'Alene as the benchmark, if you will. Everything branches out from there. So if you go from downtown Coeur d'Alene, to get on 95, you're probably looking like 5 miles out. It's never really that bad, except during morning and evening rush hour. But then they have the feeder streets that you can get off. You have other streets that parallel it, so people take advantage of that. We have one freeway out here, I-90, and that runs from east to west. That's the freeway that connects us to, say, Spokane. A lot of people work in Spokane, so from Coeur d'Alene to Spokane, to the state line is 14 miles from downtown Coeur d'Alene, but to get downtown Spokane, I'm going to say from Coeur d'Alene, it's probably 25 miles to get to the heart of Spokane City. Now, another thing, a lot of people retire here. Very good medical. Thank God I don't need it right now. I'm fortunate. Thank you. But you have Kootenai Medical. They're constantly putting wings on that. Then also, from what I was told, the specialists are up in Spokane, which is roughly from downtown, again, Coeur d'Alene, 25 miles. So you've got you covered there. Now, a lot of people, too, do use the freeway to go up to Spokane for work. Again, the border here is roughly 14 miles from downtown Coeur d'Alene, just a state line. But then to go into downtown, I'm going to say roughly another 10, 12 miles up there. So it's very easy access to everything. Number 3, recreational activities. So if you enjoy the great outdoors, I don't know of another place that's like this. You have the water, Coeur d'Alene Lake. So if you're boating, fishing, sailing, paddleboarding, whatever water activity. Then you have the rivers feeding into the lakes. There are a number of lakes around here, but the rivers, you can fly fish, you can raft. I'm just saying, there's water, surrounded by water. The mountains, so in the summertime, it's gorgeous. You can mountain bike up there. In the winter, I'm surrounded by 3 different ski resorts. I've got Schweitzer 60 miles up the road, Silver Mountain 30 miles down the road, and another 15 miles up from that is Lookout. So Lookout is known for its powder. So if you're a powder skier, they have the glades up there and the powder. Snowmobiling. A lot of guys out here do the backcountry, and gals, I guess, too. But I'm just saying, overall, there's a lot of snowmobiling, whether on groomed trails or on powder. Or backcountry, I should say. So there is no shortage of recreational activities. ATV and dirt biking. I ride my dual sport in the backcountry. I get on the forest roads. I'll go 100 miles easily, and I might see 50 people during that whole 100 miles. It's unbelievable. Another thing too, if you're into, say, bicycling, whether it's just not the mountain bikings, but like a road bike, there's a path up here called the Coeur d'Alene Trails. That's roughly 72 miles long. It goes from Mullen all the way down to Plummer. Now, we've yet to ever do we're not going to do 72 miles in one day, but we'll RV up there. That's another thing. RVing is really, really big out here, and there's a lot of RV resorts. You can boondock, so just go back in the back country, and then you can do your own thing, or you can go to some resorts. But the Coeur d'Alene Trails, you can go to an RV park and then get on the Coeur d'Alene Trails and go roughly what we do, go down 15 miles one way and 15 miles back one way that day, and then the following day we might go the opposite. And it's all along the river, which is really beautiful. And don't be surprised if you see a moose or two, because trust me, every time we go out there, I spot moose just right off the side of the trail. So it's really, really a haven for outdoor activities. Number 4, the real estate market. Real estate market is still booming. Not going to kid you there. A lot of people from out of state are moving in. Home prices, they vary. I'll say, like, I hate to say it now, but a starter home is around the $400,000 price range, and then you go all the way up from there. If you want to be on the lake, you're going to pay dearly for that over there. In between Coeur d'Alene and, say, the northern foothills, which is probably, I'm going to say a 30-mile spread of prairie out there, there's a lot of neighborhoods being built. You have your large builders. You have your D.R. Hortner coming to town. You have your Lennar, who's already in town. You have Toll Brothers that are down on the river building some very luxury condos down there. You have Hayden Homes out of Oregon building a number of homes around here. And then you have your local large builders that have just been going gangbusters ever since I've moved here. So there is a lot of new construction going on. Yes, there's still a lot of land available, so if you're looking for acreage, you're going to be a little bit further out of town. You'll probably be out by Athol, the outside of Rathdrum, Twin Lake, Spirit Lake, and further out. But one thing I want to just mention there, the further you get outside and you go north, the more you're going to kind of run into some harder winters out there. So if you need services, it could be a little tricky. Now, that being said too, another thing, they just did an improvement on Highway 41, and they just made that into, it used to be 2 lanes, one going north, one going south. Now they've doubled it up on both sides, so it really, really made a big difference. A lot of people who live out on the plains work up in Spokane, so it's an easy commute to come down 41 and then hit the freeway, and off you go up to Spokane. So it's made life a lot easier out there. But real estate is definitely a lot of activity. Okay, number 5. The question I'm asked the most here in Coeur d'Alene is the weather. The weather. We have 4 seasons: spring, summer, fall, and winter. Now I'll just touch on all 4. Spring, not really that much to complain about. Yes, it does rain during the spring season. However, it's not like a Seattle rain. It's more of a drizzle, more of a cloudy day type of thing, kind of a gray day. They could last for a week, maybe 2 weeks, but that's why we have all the trees around here. It's very lush in the springtime, but that's about the extent of it. And eventually that spring just goes into summer. Summer's extremely mild, very, very mild. Doesn't rain a lot. I'm not going to say it's dry, it's just very mild. You don't have an abundance of rain and you don't have a shortage of rain. It's just a very pleasant summer. Fall, same thing. beautiful. The colors are changing in the trees. There's a coolness in the air. The clouds it's a different formation up in the sky. It's just a nice feeling here. Nothing crazy. We don't have tornadoes. We don't have hurricanes. We don't have any of that. It's a very mild season. And the number one thing that people always ask me is the winter time. Winters, I can understand if you're from another area, let's just say from the West Coast, and you've never dealt with snow. Well, yes, I can see that it would be very concerning, but it's nothing like when people hear snow like, oh, we're thinking of Alaska up to your eyeballs in snow. No, I think the most I've ever seen, and it was a weird one, was 2 feet of snow out in the back, but it just kind of hangs around. The roads are clear. They plow everything around here. You just have to take your time and be cautious, but that's about the extent of it. So we do have the 4 seasons, and I think I kind of broke them down, but nothing of any just craziness of one season. So it's a very pleasant place overall year round. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Normally my videos are always about new construction, but I wanted to talk about what it's like living here in Coeur d'Alene. So, if you have any questions, I'm pretty easy to get a hold of. You can call me, you can text, you can email me, or you can even leave a comment below and I will answer you. Hey, and you never know, I might even make a video up from your question. And then also a good source is my website, dalefrazell.com. There's a ton of information about this area, about new construction, financing, outdoor recreational activities, you name it, I try to put it in there. So check it out, dalefrazell.com. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and hit the bell to be notified. I do post weekly videos. And until next time, take care.